Karen said my truck was ugly, then asked for a tow during flooding. I'm Jake. Just a regular guy living in Oakwood Estates, a suburban neighborhood where the grass is always greener, mostly because the HOA led by the infamous Karen Mitchell fines. You if it's not my pride and joy, a beat-up 1998 Ford F-150, red as a fire truck, but with a few dents and a rusty bumper. It's not much to look at, but it's reliable, paid off, and hauls anything I need. I park it in my driveway, minding my own business. But Karen, oh, she's got a problem with it. To her, my truck's an eyesore, a blight on her vision of a perfect neighborhood. Little did I know her obsession with my truck would lead to a showdown that'd have the whole street talking. It started with a note taped to my windshield. Your vehicle is lowering property values. Park it in the garage or face fines. Oakwood HOA. No signature, but I knew it was Karen. She's the kind of person who power walks the neighborhood with a clipboard looking for violations like a hawk. My truck wasn't breaking any rules. HOA bylaws only require vehicles to be operational and registered, which mine was, but Karen didn't care about facts. She cared about control. The notes kept coming, each nastier than the last. Hideous junkyard trash. An embarrassment, I ignored them, figuring she'd tire herself out. Big mistake. One day I got a certified letter, a $200 fine for unsightly vehicle. I was livid. I confronted Karen at the next HOA meeting, where she stood at the podium like a dictator in yoga pants. Jake, your truck is a disgrace, she said, smirking. It's not personal. It's about standards. The room was silent, but I could feel the neighbors' eyes on me. Some agreed with her. Others just didn't want her wrath. Then she went nuclear. Karen organized a neighborhood beautification vote to ban unsightly vehicles from driveways. At the meeting, she projected a photo of my truck on a screen, circling its dents with a laser pointer like it was a crime scene. This, she declared, is why we need change. I stood up, face burning. Karen, my truck's functional. It's not your call to decide what's pretty, she scoffed. Functionality doesn't excuse ugliness. The vote passed 12-8. I had 30 days to comply or face daily fines. I was humiliated, but I wasn't done. 2 weeks later, Mother Nature handed me the perfect opportunity. A freak storm hit, dumping 6 inches of rain in a day. Streets turned into rivers and Oakwood Estates was a mess. I was out checking my sump pump when I saw Karen's pristine white BMW SUV stuck in a foot of water down the street. She was pacing, phone in hand, yelling at someone, probably her husband or a tow company that couldn't get through the flooded roads. Then she spotted me. Jake. She called, wading toward my house. Her designer raincoat soaked your truck. It's high enough to get through this, right? Can you tow me out? I'm late for a meeting. Her tone was desperate, but there wasn't a hint of apology for the months of harassment. I could have said no, but where's the fun in that? An idea hit me, a chance to help her and make her eat her words. All right, Karen, I said, grinning. I'll tow you, but it's gonna take some effort. Let's make this a neighborhood event. Her eyes narrowed, but she was desperate. I grabbed my tow strap, fired up the F-150, and drove to her car. I made a show of it, honking the horn and waving to neighbors peeking out their windows. Free tow service, courtesy of the ugly truck, I shouted. A few folks came out, umbrellas up, phones, ready to record. I hooked up the tow strap, but I didn't rush. I let Karen stand in the rain arms, crossed as I double-checked the connection. Gotta make sure this junkyard trash doesn't let you down, I said loud enough for the growing crowd to hear. Neighbors snickered. Karen's face turned redder than my truck. I climbed into the cab, gave a thumbs up to the audience, and slowly pulled her BMW out of the water, making sure to splash a little extra mud on her car for good measure. The crowd clapped like it was a parade. Once her car was on dry ground, Karen muttered a half-hearted thanks and tried to slink away. But I wasn't done. Hey, Karen, I called loud enough for everyone to hear. You're welcome. Guess this hideous truck's not so useless after all. Huh? The neighbors burst out laughing. One guy yelled MVP truck. Karen stormed off her ego, as waterlogged as her car. The next HOA meeting was a different story. The beautification rule mysteriously vanished from the agenda. Karen avoided eye contact and whispers about the tow circulated. I didn't gloat much, but I parked my truck front and center in my driveway, dents gleaming. Neighbors started coming by not to complain, but to share their own Karen stories. One even brought me a six-pack as thanks for putting her in her place. In the end, I didn't just win a battle. I earned respect. My truck, battered as it is, became a symbol of sticking it to the Karens of the world. And Karen, she's quieter now, but I keep my toe strap ready. You never know when karma needs a lift. The end.